Quick rundown first. I've introduced this project over a year ago and brought it up many times. But I've never fully spoken about it, but now since it's literally a year old, I think this is the perfect time to finally talk about it. IC0N Figures, a gacha project that's heavily inspired by other idol rhythm games, such as Project Sekai, Idolish 7, and Ensemble Stars, is a project made with just a single thought to myself: hold up. What if I could possibly come up with an idol gacha game of my own, except with mixed gender groups since we hardly get them, when at the same time, I had plenty of OCs I've made every 2 to 3 weeks or so. But I was really passionate about it and decided to start brainstorming. But I knew I couldn't do it alone, so then I've told my year-long friend, Micah's Twintails05, about the project and how it would be more fun if we worked on it together. And then, the reveal, which was only on DeviantArt at the time, now might be the perfect time to break down IC0N Figures. IC0N Figures is an idol gacha rhythm game that consists of 7 main groups: Fantasy Uprising, Cyber Nexus, Tropical Sunrise, Dusk Mystically, Shortcake Pulse, Crimson Rebels, and Cloudy Dusk. A very generous amount of characters, unlike Project Sekai, with the total amount being 28 characters since each group has 4 members. But just wait till I introduce the counterpart project, Starry Symbol Struck. That has a lot more characters in it. There are many different idol groups, also known as iconic figures, that are never shown, so just know that it's not just the main cast who are part of idol groups. The project will have its moments where the elements are extremely similar to Project Sekai. But for now, let's not talk about game mechanics since this is only a gacha project so far. So let's just get on with the units and its members. First, let's get on with the main group, Fantasy Uprising. A symphonic and whimsical group that consists of its members, Itsuki Maeda, Akari Miyake, Ren Hirajimoto, and Mari Kano. The group was formed in Hasegawa Academy, one of the main school areas. The group claims their main image is a blend of youth and wisdom pop. I don't want to waste too much time explaining the characters, so they'll be broken down in more simpler terms. Itsuki Maeda, the group's leader and center, also the protagonist in the entire game, a better example of a regular protagonist instead of those generic, happy-go-lucky oranges. He's a gentle, attentive, and socially awkward second-year student who's always willing to help the people around him, and one hobby he loves doing is writing poetry. He also shows signs of being pretty clumsy, such as struggling to collect papers that fly out of his hands. His older brother, Tsukasa Maeda, who is 7 years older than him, produces Fantasy Uprising. Akari Miyake, a light-hearted and kind second-year student who's pretty clever when it comes to group advice. She's very welcoming and acts as a caretaker for the people she's closest to, but can also be a terrible liar and shows completely obvious signs, such as stuttering or rolling her fingers. Ren Hirajimoto, a playful and charismatic first-year student who not only writes comedic novels, but also adds horror into his poetry. He occasionally gets included in many plays from how dramatically cheerful his storytelling is, even surpassing a couple of university theater students. Though he's very chill, he has intense pyrophobia, and tends to freak out whether fires are seen and/or mentioned. The reason is currently unknown. Mari Kano, a shy and timid first-year student who's very passionate about art and music, but is often too shy to even show it to anyone, sometimes even her friends or family. She rarely criticizes anything, where Ren claims she can be too positive since she compliments literally anything, even things that are hated by many. Cyber Nexus. An upbeat and futuristic techno group that consists of its members, Miko Shimizu, Sudo Utsumi, Yuki Naino, and Ryusei Suzuki. Just like Fantasy Uprising, the group was formed at Hasegawa Academy, with their main image being electro dancers that bring EDM vibes, sometimes even ballads. Miko Shimizu, the group's chosen leader and center. She's a very energetic yet hardworking first-year student who can be loud and insufferable, but also a caring and silly little goober. She's pretty much known for her love for virtual reality and virtual singers, such as Hatsune Miku, which is what inspired her in wanting to perform. Sudo Utsumi, similar to Miko, he's an energetic and loud first-year student, but is also a quick thinker and prefers to do things faster than usual, which leads him to be overbearing and impatient, but at the same time, he loves looking back at fun memories and wishes they'd last longer. This may not be an important fact about him, but he has an extreme love for donuts, and tends to devour tons at almost lightning speed. Yuki Nino, a quiet and somewhat emotionless third-year student who is able to freak people out from how inexpressive she can be.
KFC.
She claims she doesn't want to waste emotions, she's still able to express herself. She's also very smart when it comes to advertising and is able to make eye-catching posters for events. She was given the nickname Yuki Beam by Suda, which captures how just staring at her just gives you a Miku Miku Beam vibe. Ryusei Suzuki, a calm and stoic third-year student who's Cybernex's lone wolf, well known for his love for coding and inventing, and dreams on being a professional inventor like his late father, who he still grieves over. He can also be pretty cautious when it comes to wasting electricity. Tropical Sunrise, a festive and, of course, tropical party group that consists of its members, Ami Natsuno, Hikaru Miki, Akira Miyake, and Rinji Raiki. Instead of the group being formed at Hasegawa Academy, it was instead formed at Hirabayashi Academy, the second main school area in the series, and frankly the only group that was formed at that school, with their main music genre being electro house and nightclub vibes. Ami Natsuno, the group's leader and center, an athletic and enthusiastic first-year student who's obsessed with summer vibes, even during colder occasions, often tries to live her life to the fullest, and even has a fondness for surfing, but still isn't great at it. Though she's carefree, she's got a minor rivalry with Miko, since they're both extremely competitive when it comes to fame.
バカいうほがほやっちゅうねん。うるせえじゃりんこたまも。誰がじゃりんこやねん。じゃりんこだろ。
Hikaru Miki, a laid-back and quirky first-year student who even partakes in DJ activities. He calls himself a fun-loving older bro to make himself seem responsible, even though he can be younger than the next person. Though he can be somewhat lazy and tease people non-stop, he's still very hardworking when it comes to activities he's passionate about. Akira Miyake, a free-spirited and spontaneous third-year student who's known for her past solo performances and working part-time at a smoothie bar near a beach house that's close to Hirabayashi Academy, and is also Akari's older sister. She's got her moments where she can be loud and slightly childish for her age. Renji Raiki, a serious and cautious third-year student who seems to act rude from the way he speaks, but instead speaks in an honest tone that seems harsh at first, but still gets treated like a bestie, especially with Akira. Though he always looks serious, he's got extreme motion sickness whenever he's on boats, which is why he despises them. His full name is actually Renjiro, but gets embarrassed whenever anyone addresses him as such, and prefers to be addressed as Renji instead. Dusk Mystically, a gothic and majestic theater group that consists of its members, Yuto Kiyomi, Nozomi Tenkumo, Kahaku Hitomi, and Aoi Miyamoto. The group was formed at the third and final main school area, Kabashigawa University, the first group that consists of university students, with their main image being theatrical gothic pop with professional vocals plus choreography. Yuto Kiyomi, the group's leader and center. He's an elegant and poetic second-year university student who's known for his stunning theatrical career. When it comes to performances, he's a perfectionist, like a massive one, who constantly demands the best from everyone, himself included. He's often mistaken for a woman from his long, extravagant hair that reaches his ankles. Nozomi Tenkumo, a fun and graceful first-year university student who's extremely welcoming and good at making friends. She's rather cheerful despite being in a gothic group and act childish to the rest of Dusk Mystically, but still doesn't mean she never had trauma, and still manages to fit in with the group's aesthetics. She may seem like a woman who's always smiling, but she's someone who once had a fear of being judged based on her personality. Kahaku Hitomi, a cold and sharp second-year university student who was a former guitarist in an old band called Phantoms and is described as an emo from his lack of positive emotion, which doesn't outright mean he's rude. Though he can be pretty sarcastic with people, especially people who seem too positive, especially Nozomi, whom she treats him like a child, especially with her infamous cheek pulling. Aoi Miyamoto, a polite and responsible first-year university student who's slightly emotional and determined at the same time, and performs puppet-like performances and teaches that style of choreography since it also matches its theatrical image. Others slowly notice how excited she gets whenever marionette dolls are viewed or mentioned and loves talking about them when she has the chance. All that being cause of her childhood relationship with her father, who insisted that she'll be the perfect daughter, thus making her seem like a human marionette. Shortcake Pulse. An upbeat and fun pop group that consists of its members, Ichika Yumini, Kai Hirajimoto, Chikayato, and Kojiro Jinsha. This is the first group that was formed outside of school, mainly cause every member goes to a different school. Instead, the group was formed at an area close to the school's Rakudai Idol Hall, also known as IC0N Figures Rehearsal Area, and the group's main image being a more energetic and cheerful group. Ichika Yumini, the group's leader and center. She's a positive and bubbly second-year student who's a prospective baker and often prefers looking on the bright side of anything. Even though she seems like the type of person who has little to no problems, she has a burning hatred for math. No matter how much she studies or how high her grade is, she still despises it and often needs tutoring. Kai Hirajimoto, an energetic and silly first-year student who's the younger twin brother of Rin Hirajimoto, which makes them a mischievous duo. He's extremely optimistic yet smart when it comes to certain events, and lives off his catchphrase YOLO, which he uses when he encourages people to take risks and live life to the fullest. Chika Aoto, a friendly and shy third-year student who's the group's outfit designer. She especially loves using pastel colors for her outfits and is pretty knowledgeable when it comes to color schemes. Idol knowledge aside, she's extremely quiet around people she isn't close to, afraid that she'll say/do something wrong if she says one seemingly wrong thing. Outside of group activities, she's best friends with Mari. Kojiro Jinsha, an eccentric and flamboyant second-year university student who's a professional theater student, along with Yuto. He's rather bombastic and speaks like he's in a soap opera, and is quite fond of Shakespearean philosophy. He often tries to get a reaction out of many other people, examples, Chika specifically, Suda, Yuki, and his campus roommates, and playfully interacts in a rather infuriating yet harmless way. Though he knows how to take idol work seriously, but a lot more when it comes to theater, therefore him and Yuto often encounter each other with competitive performances. Crimson Rebels. A rebellion and fiery group that consists of its members, Rei Wahara, Misaki Nidai, Junpei Maidakura, and Eve Miura. The second group to be formed in Rakudai Idol Hall, with the group's main image being fierce and powerful hip-hop. Rei Wahara, the group's leader and center. He's a hardworking and determined first-year university student who motivates the group with his passionate and sporty personality, and also has a short temper, which can go a bit too far to the point where it's not always taken seriously.
You're manipulating me! Stop! Stop!
This morning, I woke up today and this morning. In the morning I woke up this morning, I woke up. And remember that every morning that I wake up, I woke up that day. Just remember that.
What?
He also sucks at understanding the French language, looks like a total buffoon every time. Misaki Nidai, a fierce and independent second-year university student who's got an extreme tomboyish image. She grew up in America half her life and played soccer there, where she also grew up only interacting with boys, both on her soccer team and in her school, thus making her slightly more awkward when speaking to females. Junpei Maidakura, a competitive and bold third-year student who's the only teenager in a group full of adults. He's known for his extreme hunger and how fast he can devour food, where Misaki often begs him to slow down.
Slow down!
He has won over 5 eating competitions cause of that ability. He's part Chinese from his late mother, who was a traditional dancer, therefore he knows how to speak a little bit of Chinese, but just not a lot. Eve Miura, a calm and collected third-year university student who was not only once a solo artist, but also a model for fashion. She works part-time at her parents' French makeup store, Shine and Polished, where she works as a beauty consultant for new products. Since she's from France and is fluent in French and Japanese, she often slides French words in her sentences midway, or just full-on speaking French, which can confuse and even frustrate others, especially Rei. Finally, the last group to be announced, Cloudy Dusk. A low-tide and elegant group that consists of its members, Riku Tenkumo, Sora Ishimaru, Hinata Umi, and Sakura Kamishiro. The group was formed at Kabushigawa University, with their main image being ballad pop blended in with a bit of Japanese tradition. Riku Tenkumo, the group's chosen leader and center. He's a lazy and overly tired first-year university student who falls asleep in the most unexpected moments. Though he plays the role as someone who couldn't care less about anything, he can be pretty fun to hang out with when he's awake. When performing, his movements are more elegant in a way where he questions if he was truly awake for it. As Nozomi's older brother, he tries to act more mature around her, but ends up acting like his usual, overly laid-back self, which causes him to be addressed as cute by Nozomi whenever he's eepy, even though he's grown. Sora Ishimaru, a gentle and wise first-year university student who desires to act more mature and fancy. She has participated in Japanese tea ceremonies since she was 16, and has fallen in love with them ever since, where she slowly desired to participate in more mature activities. Though she isn't just gentle, she seems to be a non-shy introvert who also prefers to do things on her own, and sometimes results in her being overly fussy and flustered from drama. Hinata Umi, a calm and formal third-year university student who works as a traditional Japanese poet and journalist. He had a fond of Japanese culture ever since he was young from the way his parents lived, and wanted to keep their tradition alive by living in their traditional style, but is still interested in modern reality. Though Hinata isn't just an elegant, strong-minded poet, during occasions, such as birthdays or after-show celebrations, he's quite fond of drinking, especially champagne. Therefore he often overdrinks and leads him into getting drunk. Sakura Kamishiro, a down-to-earth and nurturing second-year university student who often brainstorms eccentric yet meaningful ideas depending on a situation, such as writing lyrics or choreography suggestions. She's pretty smart when it comes to mastering vocals since she had past experiences, and was once a performer in an old duo group called Double Face along with Eve back in high school. Though Sakura can also be quite playful with the people she's closest to, especially Sora, and often teases her about being too focused on beauty. Now that all units were introduced, icon figures will now exclusively be part of this page, along with Mikus, the co-founder. But I've been thinking about this one thought in my head later on. What are your plans for the future? Will icon figures, and S later on, be the only type of gacha idol content made later on, or other projects such as Vision Echo and Starglam Celine will still be used? But the answer is, of course they'll still be used, they're my babies. In fact, there's still more minor gacha idol groups that are still yet to be introduced. But Icon Figures is different since it's completely made from scratch. Vision Echo and Starglam Celine are fan units part of already existing franchises, so Icon Figures will be mentioned a lot more frequently, but those other groups will still live on. Deeply appreciate y'all who stuck around. Stay hyped for S once it's introduced next, but for now, Icon Figures will live on till then.